The werewolves in this game are too fierce. They almost wipe out their opponents in just a few days. Civilian players analyze the reasons. Think that werewolves have been setting up to mislead everyone. They are being fooled around like fools. She decided to take the initiative. She thought of a way to lure the werewolves to show up. Junshi sent a message to everyone. He found the camera that Lee Na secretly placed before she died yesterday. Secretly placed camera. Now charging in the restaurant. When the phone is turned on, we will know who is the murderer. Everyone is shocked after watching. Only the werewolf is full of panic. During the attack yesterday, he really didn't see any camera. In order to prevent himself from being exposed, he must go to the restaurant to delete yesterday's video. And Wanshu and Junshi want this effect. Although the camera thing is fabricated, but they are sure that the murderer will not remain indifferent. Next, they just need to keep an eye on who wants to act alone. Junyuan and Asahi overheard. Big Fat ran to the infirmary. The two looked at each other. The scene of Lee Na's death yesterday. There were bloodstains left by the murderer. Whoever had wounds on his body was the most suspicious. Several people hurried to the infirmary. I happened to see Big Fatty treating the wound. At the same time, the real werewolf academic master quietly came to the restaurant. He picked up the camera on the table with a nervous face. Who knew there was no video inside? Junshi and Wanshu, who were hiding in the dark, came out. They insisted that the academic master was the murderer. But at this moment, Junyuan and others dragged Big Fatty to the restaurant. Designated the other party as the murderer. Because there was an obvious wound on his body. The top student at the back of the crowd almost laughed. Junshi happened to turn his head to see. The top student immediately stopped smiling. Said he came to the restaurant. Just wanted to see if the battery was fully charged. Then he asked how the fat guy was injured. The latter was also very anxious. When he woke up in the morning, he found an extra wound on his body. After saying that, he took out his mobile phone and voted for the top student. The top student also voted for him. Now everyone was confused. Only Big Fatty had the biggest reaction. Everyone looked like a werewolf. Akai was so angry that he also voted for him on the spot. However, Wanshu insisted that the top student was a werewolf. It was suspicious that he came over alone to check the camera. Junshi insisted. Shueba just wants to delete the video. The two of them voted for the academic master at the same time. Big Fatty saw the dawn of victory. He quickly encouraged the scholar. Give the scholar a vote. This way he would be invincible. Unexpectedly, Junyuan suddenly asked Big Fatty. Why did you hide your injury? Best friend Shueisai. After saying that, he voted directly for Big Fatty. Playing with books felt that my bestie was a little impulsive. Big Fatty's anger exploded, pushed away the scholar who came to break up the fight. The group mocked everyone as being werewolves. The next moment he was voted for again. The voter was his good friend Shueisai. He accused Big Fatty of hiding something from him. The latter cried out, "You are my best brother." Then he turned around and left in despair. Now the overall situation has been decided. Nothing he said could change. The fact that he had the highest number of votes. Seeing the look on the top student's face, Junshi was about to scold him. Unexpectedly, the other party left without looking back. After arriving on the second floor of the hotel, the top student began to observe silently again, where everyone was hiding. The smile on his face could no longer be suppressed. He felt that he was sure of victory. At this time, Junshi has confirmed. The top student is the hidden werewolf. Junyuan quickly interrupted. It's useless to say anything now. Let's find a place to hide first. Wanshu asked if we want to come together. Junshi said meaningfully. Being together will be more dangerous. After listening to Wanshu, he suddenly remembered something. Junshi didn't tell everyone at the time. Where did Lee Na die? But Junyuan took her directly to the bathroom. How did she know the place? The latter said that it was the safest place in the whole hotel. She reasoned it out on her own. Wanshu thought this reason was too far-fetched. Then she recalled the murderer's injury. It was Junyuan who first discovered the bloody nails. Then he guided step by step, transferring the suspect to the big fat body. This is obviously the murderer's way of excusing himself after he was accidentally injured. Seeing that Junyuan did not refute, while playing with books, I thought about the previously deleted surveillance video. Among all the people, only Junyuan, who is proficient in computer operation, can do it. In fact, she should have thought of it long ago. Her roommate Junyuan is the most hidden werewolf. The latter has a sullen face and does not refute. It can be regarded as acquiescing to Wanshu's guess. In fact, all the layout and misleading methods are all from her handiwork. The top students and others are just little soldiers charging into the battle. The reason why the other party can escape the crisis time and time again is not because of the help of some innocent souls. But there is Junyuan, a careful strategist. Escort. Wanshu couldn't help crying after learning the truth. She didn't expect that her most trusted roommate turned out to be a cold-blooded killer hidden behind the scenes. At the same time, Junshi was about to find a place to hide. He happened to see the sneaky figure of the top student. He followed him quietly to the bathroom. I was shocked to find that the compartment was filled with bloody tools. This is enough to prove that the top student is a hidden werewolf. Junshi was about to kill him on the spot, but in the end he couldn't do it, because he saw the numerous wounds on the top student. These were all left by Allah and several school bullies. Although Monitor Junshi tried to stop him several times, but did not solve the problem from the root. Instead, it made Ali's bullying worse. The top student felt that Junshi was more hateful than them. The latter suddenly felt so tired. He once tried his best to protect every classmate in the class. But in the end, how many people were grateful to him? Junshi completely lost the motivation to continue fighting. He only wanted to kill someone if the top student wanted to kill him. Don't attack the book. And the heartbroken fat man came to the small supermarket. The best brother stabbed himself. Now only food can fill the inner trauma. Who knows that he just happened to meet him? Akai, who was about to hide here. Big Fat remembered that the other party was the second one to vote for him. Decided to pull her on his back before dying. But at this moment, the system's execution prompt came. Big Fat uncontrollably released his hands. His eyes turned white, began to put snacks into his mouth. Finally, he choked to death in the pile of food. Akai watched the whole process. Hurriedly hid in the isolation room before settling down. The scholar in the infirmary, hearing that the identity of the dead brother was a civilian, collapsed on the ground with regret. At this time, Wanshu was still crying in front of Junyuan. She felt so tired. She didn't want to play this game anymore. As hypnotic music played, she fell into a weak sleep. The top student in the bathroom was about to kill Junshi. The system prompted him. All werewolves must agree to kill. He yelled angrily. He hurried to Junyuan, accused the other party of why he didn't remind her about the camera. Junyuan quickly explained. There was always someone around her after she knew the plan. There was no time to tell the news. Moreover, she was the one who instigated the relationship between Big Fat and the scholar. And then turned the situation around. The top student had no choice but to give up and not dwell on the matter. He said that Junshi had discovered his identity. Moreover, if Big Fat dies, the top student will also become the #1 suspect target. No matter who he kills, he cannot escape death. The only way he can think of is to kill everyone tonight. Just kill everyone tonight. The system didn't seem to say, you can only kill one person a night. Junyuan thought about it and finally nodded in agreement. However, Wanshu and Junshi must be dealt with by her. Shueba was responsible for killing the remaining people. The latter was a little hesitant. He said Junyuan had never killed anyone with her own hands. Don't let the chain go at a critical moment. Junyuan asked Shueba to relax. She moved the playbooks to the freezer where the bodies were stored. In this way, even if she doesn't do anything, she can give her best friend a decent death. The top student did not refute, but quietly took away Wanshu's mobile phone. After turning around and leaving, Junyuan immediately raised the temperature of the freezer. It seemed that she did not intend to kill Wanshu. It seems like she doesn't plan to kill Wanshu. The top student has figured it out a long time ago. The hiding places of the remaining classmates. First, suffocate the scholar hiding in the infirmary to death. Then he went to the small supermarket compartment and found Akai who was unconscious. However, he did not rush to take action. Instead, he waited until Junyuan sent a text message to notify him. Junshi was killed by her. Only then did the top student feel at ease to deal with Akai. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. Werewolf kills multiple civilians at once. Will you be punished? Not long after, Junyuan sent another text message. Wanshu is dead. Shueba checked several people's mobile phones in turn, only to find that Wanshu's mobile phone was still on. Indicates that the other party is not dead. Shueba is very clear about this setting. As long as it is a living classmate, the phone battery is always showing 56%. If it dies, it will shut down immediately. Shueba hurriedly ran to the freezer. Asked if Wanshu was really dead. Junyuan said if she didn't believe it, go and see for yourself. The top student suddenly took out Wanshu's mobile phone. At this time, you are still lying. Since you don't even dare to kill people, why should you be a werewolf? After saying that, he stabbed her in the abdomen with a knife. The above is the content of the 7th issue of Nightfall. Tomorrow will usher in the finale of this drama. Tomorrow will be the finale of the show. Junshi doesn't know this time whether she is really dead. There is no scene of Junyuan doing anything in the play, but it can be confirmed that Wanshu is definitely not dead. Her mobile phone is still on. It should be Junyuan who used other corpses to switch the package and secretly hid her somewhere else. But this operation is somewhat inconsistent with her insidious and cunning character. Since I killed so many classmates in order to survive, I should have thought about the future. How to face my best friend. In addition, this episode exposed a big loophole. There is no limit to the game rules. The number of kills per day. In this case, the werewolf's advantage is too great. Although the explanation is given from the side in the play, the top student is worried that killing too many people will be punished by the system. Finally, he was forced to take the risk. And he first asked Junyuan to kill the second person for the test, before he killed Akai boldly. But before that, Ale and Junshi used various means to find loopholes in the rules, and ended in miserable failure. Such perfect rules. There should be a limit on the number of werewolf executions. There should be some limit. In case of encountering a bold and cruel werewolf player, it is really possible to destroy all the opponents in the first night. Another person mentioned the scene where the top student spoke to the stone statue in the last episode. Archie looked carefully. At that time, he was indeed not facing the stone statue, but talking to someone on the side of the stone statue. I seem to see a figure in the reflection. It must be Junyuan. Well, that's it for today. See you in the next issue.